know sometimes people hear that small businesses are the largest employers out there and they think, no way. Well, think about it. I mean, there are so many small businesses on main streets that employ people of all types of skills, and they invest in communities, and they're really the backbone of this country's free market ecosystem. And they're feeling the brunt right now of inflation, and they can only cut into their profit margins so much before they impact their employees, before they impact consumers. And this obviously is something that is going to be interesting to watch how it unfolds when they head to Washington, D.C. on Monday for a summit. It's part of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Summit, and Goldman Sachs says that's the largest ever gathering of small business owners in the U.S. Heading to Washington, D.C., and they note that 127 Illinois small business owners plan to head to Washington to talk with policymakers about inflation. Here's a few stats. 97% of small business owners today say inflationary pressures on their businesses have increased or stayed the same compared to 3 months ago. 65% have said that the increased prices of their goods and services to offset the negative impact, and 38% have seen a decline in customer demand as a result of inflationary prices. So what can small businesses do? Well, joining us to talk about this in some more detail is a small business owner, Sari Wize. She owns and operates Wise Choice Creations. She joins us now here with Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk. I'm Greg Bishop. Sari, thanks for taking time with us this morning. Tell us about your business.
So we I actually produce, develop, and manufacture sensory toys, mostly for babies, under the brand Baby Paper. So my business is extremely impacted by other small businesses because 95% of my distribution is to, local brick and mortar specialty retailers throughout the U.S. and Canada and overseas. So the inflation has definitely taken a toll on all of us.
You're fine. When you talk about being a producer and ultimately getting your products into the hands of other small businesses, your footprint in Illinois. Talk about the size of your operations, where you're located, and who you employ.
So we're based in Northbrook, Illinois, and our distribution is to approximately close to 1,000 specialty retailers. So our distribution is pretty wide. We employ around 40 independent sales reps and just, very small office staff. My sourcing agent is based in Pennsylvania, so she's another small business.
And these, of course, are small businesses helping small businesses, the backbone of this country's free market ecosystem. So what do you plan on doing when you get to Washington, D.C. with 10,000 small businesses, let alone 127 of them coming from Illinois?
Yeah, I'm so excited about this. It's banding together through the Voices program of Goldman Sachs. We really have a seat at the table. It's hard to ignore our numbers. There are actually over 12,000 of us who are in the program, and there are 2,500 of us at least who are converging on DC. And we have meetings set up with our representatives and our senators. We are going to hear from the people who really can make decisions that can help us, and we need help. We were very happy with everything that was done previously during the pandemic to help us through it, but we still need more. We still need more help. We need to have our voices heard, and we need to make sure that Washington puts their partisanship aside and really focuses and gets in there to really help us and hear what our needs are.
We're talking with Sari Wize. She is with Wise Choice Creations in Northbrook, joining thousands of other small businesses across the country, heading to Washington, D.C. Next week, Monday. In several days, you guys are going to be on the ground. What is it you're looking for? Are you looking for more tax resources? Are you looking for fewer regulations? Are you looking for some policies to lower energy prices? What is it you guys are looking for specifically?
So So we have some set talking points that based on, the surveys that Goldman did. And again, there's over 12,000 of us to be able to fill out these surveys, and it's nationwide. And so we're trying to zero in on some things that Washington can do right away. First of all, the SBA needs to be completely redesigned. It has not been done. They haven't done so since 2020. And so a lot has changed since then. And the SBA needs to revamp to help meet our needs. We're looking for ways to level our playing field. We know that we can never be what a big business is, but we need to be able to offer benefits to employees, to be able to attract talent, such as healthcare. We really need them to look at ways to increase our child care, like help us offset those expenses. Everything that really is so tough for a small business to overcome. And we need to, have Washington give us an opportunity to have to be able to negotiate for contracts, to be able to get a federal contract. Maybe one of us has a product that the government can use.
Sari, when it comes to, you're a small business owner, these are 10,000 plus small businesses that are going to be heading to Washington, D.C. Talk about the significance of this group in the face of lobbyists from major industries with huge companies. I'm thinking of like the Boeings and the defense companies and these large contracts they get. Not necessarily about the government contracts here, but the lobbying aspect of it. Talk about the importance of having small businesses at the table rather than these high-paid lobbyists from major corporations capturing the attention of these policymakers in D.C.
I think that we're very fortunate because we do have Goldman Sachs behind us, and they make our advocacy easier, and they do give us a seat at the table. It's hard to ignore 12,000 of us. Maybe they can ignore one small business based in Northbrook, Illinois, but they can't ignore 12,000 of us because we come from every state. We come from, pretty much every representative's district. So they need to listen to us. They need to know that if they want the economy to go forward, they need to help the small businesses because we truly are the path forward for them. We employ, as you said in your opening, we employ, so many people all across the country, all across every talent. So I think that this is just, like you said, giving us a seat at the table and letting our voices be heard. And hopefully they're going to take us seriously.
And just briefly, if you could, talk about the increased costs that you're experiencing specifically. Of course, fuel is through the roof. Inflation's 9.1%. We just saw the wholesale price index more than 10% increased. How are all those things impacting you directly?
Well, what first happened was when the shipping costs went up, that automatically added to our expenses. And it's too late to be able to raise your prices to help compensate for it. So it cut into the profit margin. But after a while, you have to raise your prices. So our raw goods have gone up. The cost of freight is still ridiculous. It is coming down. There is some hope on the horizon. But we've had to raise our prices twice just within the past 8 months, which you hate to do. As a small business, I'm trying to compete for that shelf space in my retailers, and I have to be competitive with larger companies who can produce goods at a much lower cost than I can. So it is definitely eating into my profit margin, but I did have to increase those prices to at least, take the bite out of it a little bit.
Sari Wize with Wize Choice Creations. Greatly appreciate your time. Safe travels to Washington, D.C., all right?
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News.